Hello, my name is Dink Binkman. I'm taking over for Cameron Smith on the Chill Spot podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, Big Dick. How do you feel?
My name is Bink.
Sorry?
Dink Binkman. I'll thank you to pronounce it correctly.
Big Dick Man.
Dink Binkman.
Okay, so Big Dick Man. How do you feel about the size of hot dogs these days? Are they like too small? What do you like?
They're just too dang big. I can't get my little fingers around them anymore.
Yeah, you can't.
And they barely fit in my mouth.
Yeah? Well, it's size isn't everything. Maybe try maybe try like a hamburger or something.
You see, I can't go get hamburgers. Same problem. I got little hands, little itty bitty hands.
But a big dick, man.
Dink Binkman.
Hey, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck are you recording with?
Get out of here, man.
What the fuck?
I just, I walk into the studio, I hit play, and whoever's here to talk to me.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
I went to the bathroom. You start the fucking podcast with some moron.
I'm sorry. He was sitting there, and he seemed to know what he was doing. So he was already in your chair. He already had Audacity open. I don't know what to tell you.
This is my house. Did he come in? Come to the window?
I thought maybe it was a cousin. You got a lot of cousins, and I always forget their names. So
that's true.
There's like a core group of cousins who I remember, and then like during like the big family holidays, pre-pandemic, of course, when they would all come, and there were like more than just like the main core group of cousins. I was like, I don't know any.
Yeah, I honest to God, like, I apologize to any cousins listening, but I sort of do that too. Where, it's
like I kind of want to, like I'm like the girlfriend, and I feel like, people gave me a little bit of grace when I didn't know them, for like the first, 1, maybe 2 years if they were generous. But now it's like we're pretty much 5 years strong into this, and I feel like I should know everybody's names. But I feel like telling them, listen. Your relative doesn't even know all of your names sometimes. So, like, I'm just trying my best, I am simply doing my best.
I'm trying my fucking best. Fuck.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I actually have a huge anxiety around names.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a bad memory when it comes to people's names, but my brain likes to really, really tell me that I do. So, I'll actually spend so much time freaking out about forgetting someone's name that I'll end up, like, not saying the name despite knowing it.
Yeah.
Like that happened a lot of times. It would be like, oh, hey, and then my brain is like, you forgot.
You forgot.
And then like, I had to live with that. It is honest to God, the most embarrassing thing in the world for me to forget someone's name.
I just have such a bird brain when it comes to names, man. Like I try and do the thing, where, you say somebody's name after they've introduced themselves to you. Pardon me, there's the burp that I needed.
You feel you're gonna like gas out your system now?
I had a little bubble in my throat. But like they'll say like, oh hi, like my name is Olivia, and I'll be like, Olivia, hi, nice to meet you. And it's like because you've repeated the name from your own mouth.
Yeah. Because
the name has come out of your own mouth, it's supposed to help you remember the names better.
It's like recording things.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then I forget so many people, and like I hate being introduced to a lot of people at once because it's like I'm not gonna Olivia, John, James, Derek, Petunia. I'm like I got Olivia. That's it. I got nothing else. I don't know anybody else in this part. I guess I'm talking to Olivia all night long because she's the only person whose name I know.
So you're Olivia Newton-John. No.
Oh my God.
I got chills, Sam.
Yeah.
And they're multiplying.
And it's
and I'm losing control.
I was gonna say, and it's getting out of control, but that's not the next line at all.
Have we ever talked about how that's one of our favorite things to do, that we do like jokingly?
Well, one of my favorite bits, I was thinking about this the other day. I have favorite bits that you and your friends do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of my top 2 is you and Brad, not Shirk Boy, but the other Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Have this bit. There's this BJ the Chicago Kids song called Church.
Oh yeah.
And it opens, and the opening lyrics are like, she says she wanna drink, do drugs, and have sex tonight, but I got church in the morning, church in the morning. And you guys just like say it, but like really panicked. You're like, dude, she says she wanna drink, do drugs, and have sex tonight, but
I got
church in the morning.
Yeah. No, it is in my friend group, because we're all like either people who are like gone to creative school or like want to be creatives. We spend a lot of time like doing bits and fucking with each other. Like every friend group does this, but it's something we really like to do. And one of our favorite bits, like Sam just said, is to speak lyrics.
Speak lyrics, yeah.
Because
like say them like they're dialogue and like assign them a conversation.
You'll find that a lot of lyrics are either really dramatic or just hilarious to say out loud.
Yeah, it's fun to take things out of their context.
Well, it's like that Schoolboy Q song, Floating with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
How does it start? It goes, fall in this bitch, transfusion with the drip drop, sauce everywhere. But our favorite thing to do is go like, fall in this bitch, transfusion with the drip drops, sauce everywhere. Like it's everywhere.
It made such a mess, dude. Oh my god.
Or like, John Lennon's
Imagine?
No. Is it Imagine? No, it's So This Is Christmas.
Imagine all of the people.
No, it's So This Is Christmas. It's So This Is Christmas. What have you done?
I'm trying to think. What else can we do with that? There's Are
you okay?
My loneliness is killing me.
Is that another Britney Spears song? Oh God!
Just give me a sign.
Please, God, give me a sign.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Hit me. Hit me.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite. It just completely like removes any sort of like, especially with pop songs, because pop songs are so nonsensical.
Oh yeah,
and they don't necessarily like, they're not necessarily anything that any human would actually say. So it's like, thank you next, you know? Thank you next.
Thank you next.
I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. Yeah.
You're saying thank you next because you love the MTV show Next.
Thank you next.
Oh, I know how to date people now because of Next.
Oh man, can we talk about Next?
Of course we can.
How is that allowed to be a show?
I mean, there's a lot on MTV that like you look back on, you're like, I can't believe this is on the air.
Old MTV, yeah. It was so bitchy. And it was so shitty. Just shitty people, or like people being encouraged to be shitty for television.
Yeah.
And just like taking everyday people and with absolutely no idea how to be present on camera and like sticking them on camera and just being like, okay, do this. And they're like, okay, well, I don't know what else to do with my body. So yeah, sure, whatever. I guess I'll just like admit to like dancing to Britney Spears songs covered in slime for money. I'll say that. And then you can record it and then you can just like keep it forever.
Yep. That's just blackmail you have on me for the rest of my life.
I just have that now. I remember there used to be this dating show on Much Music where they would take two superfans of an artist, of two different artists, I should say, and make them go on a date with each other. So they took like a Beyonce superfan and a Jay-Z superfan and like made them go on a date because they both like these artists who are dating each other in real life. So why wouldn't the fans want to date each other?
That doesn't make
solely based on the fact that they like an artist. Like
not even the same artist.
So you like bacon, you like lettuce, and your favorite food is tomatoes. So I think you should just like, I don't know, have a threesome.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck?
You guys ever heard of polyamory?
I just feel like maybe you would like get along on like a deep interpersonal level based on this like one, superficial thing that you like.
Well, especially because like that actually doesn't make any fucking sense, because just because you like something that's complementary, and then in the sense that like we use your BLT, like you can like bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes separately, but that doesn't mean that you like bacon or lettuce if you like tomatoes. Like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Bring it right back to Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's like, I would actually argue that people who like Jay-Z might not be Beyonce fans.
Hello, Beyonce fans are on another level.
Beyonce fans love Beyonce and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Beyonce fans are the theater kids of music.
Yeah.
That's just, they like one thing.
I tweeted this the other day, but there was this article where it was like, actress. Broadway has been affected deeply by COVID, and it was a picture of Bernadette Peters.
Oh my God. Actress.
And I was like, and it just clicked for me. I was like, this is why theater kids are like this. This is why theater kids are so obnoxious, because outside of their theater kid bubble, nobody respects their art form.
No.
Like, nobody except for theater kids musical theater kids, I should specify, because musical theater kids are really
it's a whole new breed.
Their own breed.
Musical theater kids are like the Quebec people of the theater kid thing, of the theater kid Canada.
Yeah, it's like they're a part of the nation, but they're like a little different,
Even
and we
theater kids are
just
like,
magnify it to shit, and we're like, no, you're different. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you're doing the same thing. You're just adding song and dance on top of it.
Totally.
But I was like, this is why theater kids are like that, because outside of their own circle, nobody's paying respect to any, before I got into basketball, I respected Michael Jordan, you know? Like, I had respect. I was like, he's a fantastic athlete, one of the best in his game, if not the, and, he's amazing. But Bernadette fucking Peters, who is one of the most amazing, versatile voices and has had one of the longest, most respected careers in Broadway, in musical theater as a genre, actress,
Yeah, really.
It's just demoted to like actress.
Like, you're an actress,
It's
Sam.
like, why don't you know?
Yeah.
Why don't you know who Bernadette Peters is?
You could Google her fucking name.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you not know who you just spoke to? Did you just like forget to get her name? Like, what the fuck? This is so disrespectful. Actress. It's Bernadette Peters.
Yeah, come on. Like, come on.
Like, would you ever, if you did an interview with Meryl Streep, would you be like, actress? It's like,
Yeah.
no.
And a bit, woman.
Woman.
Well, it's like, remember you were talking about Michael Jordan. I remember in the Last Dance, they interview Barack Obama, and his tag is Chicago resident.
Yeah.
I think that was a bit, though. I got a feeling that was probably a bit.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose.
But,
Because
like,
it's also not a lie. Like, and
No.
they were asking him. No, they were asking him about
the Bulls.
and like at the time that Michael Jordan was popping and like 92 to like 96. Barack Obama was a Chicago resident. Like that's
But
that's all
since
he was
then, he was the president of the United States. What? They got Bill Clinton later where they call him Bulls fan?
They just like shrunk it down into the context of like who he was at the time, and at the time he wasn't even like a senator or anything. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure he's been in politics a long time.
He's been in politics a long time, but he wasn't a senator. Like
He might have been. I'll look it up.
in 92 or from 92 to 96. I don't know what Barack Obama was doing.
Let me find out.
I figured he was in politics or maybe in school, but
I spelled
yeah,
his name
man.
wrong.
It's just like, I get it, theater kid or musical theater kids. Like, I get it, because nobody else hypes your people like you do. You're the only ones.
Yes.
Other people have respect for other people in other fields, but like musical theater, because it's so polarizing. I feel like the people who do like musicals have to go so much harder for their thing, because it just gets no respect from people who aren't into it.
My friend group, back when Hamilton was really popping, it's like, why do you think theater kids, and especially musical theater kids, get so jazzed and hyped about great big new musicals?
When they cross over.
Because
and
one
get as
happens
popular as
every like
Hamilton.
5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like shit you hear about.
Yeah, like Hamilton is probably going to be one of those musicals that is just always, unless Lin-Manuel Miranda physically steps in and does something about it, like it's probably going to be one of those musicals that is always on. You know how like Chicago is always on Broadway?
Yeah. No,
Wicked
it's
is
a permanent
always on
residence.
Broadway. Les Mis is always on Broadway.
Hamilton
like,
is an
always.
institution at this point.
Yeah. And Hamilton's going to be, it is wild in our lifetimes to see an institution be installed in this, this pantheon, this like Mount Olympus of the performing arts. It's wild to see it happen in our lifetime. And people just don't get that.
Well, because people also like, theater's been dying but refuse to die for like how many years now?
Oh, since it started.
So, although I do think that COVID is a real test for theater. In terms of like keeping the damn thing alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about this, I think, in a podcast before, but or maybe we haven't. Pardon me. The thing that theater's doing now is that they're running into the problem that they've been meaning to address for 50 years now, which is theater is not accessible, right?
Yeah.
Like theater is in a lot of ways accessible. You can get into a theater, but like what if you can't because of sickness? You know, if you there's a saying in theater, you got to put butts in seats.
Distance, even like.
But real quick, but their solution to this whole COVID thing is like Zoom theater. I think I'd rather die than really watch Zoom theater.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest with you.
No, I haven't done it for a reason.
You know?
I don't want to.
No offense to anyone who's doing it, like at all. I'm not trying to offend you. It's just like, I get you're doing what you have to do to stay afloat, and that is super important. We did that for a long time with us. We recorded online, and we, got into streaming and blah, blah, blah. Like, we're a little hypocritical in that regard. But I don't know, man.
No, I feel like it's not hypocritical because this is coming from a place of experience, Back when we were doing like Instagram lives and stuff like that, and we were, staying distant, we were doing what we thought was right at the time,
right?
By staying out of each other's houses, by isolating, by staying at home, like in our homes, like our residences, your parents' house and my mom's house, and we were just doing our best. But excuse me, luckily because of where we live, we were able to sort of like open up our bubble a little bit more, and since we can do that, we're just like, no, this wasn't working, like we can say that now because we tried it.
Yeah,
we can say we're speaking from experience, from someone who has tried to do what being in the same physical room as somebody and performing, like what we were trained to do. We tried to do it online through a screen, and it just didn't work.
Well, the delay alone kills you.
Yeah, it's not the same. It really doesn't work. Like it's theater. It just wasn't built for that. What if you're in the middle of a Zoom performance and someone disconnects? Yeah. Because that happens. Shit happens. What if you have a dog shit webcam? Yeah. Like fuck. Yeah. No, I've seen like clips of Zoom performances before where like someone has like a 1080p fucking beautiful ass webcam and the other person's like recording on a potato. And it's like, well, one of you looks fantastic and the other one looks like pixels. Yeah. And it just doesn't seem fair, Like it, and I don't feel like I'm getting, or I don't feel like I would be getting my money's worth if I were to pay to watch that, And just the virtual backgrounds, like the technology isn't there yet. It looks like shit. It looks like the shittiest green screen I've ever seen in my life. Oh, you're talking about like the Zoom backgrounds? Yeah, like I saw like a clip of a Zoom show that a colleague of ours did. And for the sake of the play, to like set the scene, they had like Zoom backgrounds made that each character had to like have to like set the scene, like put them in the scene. And it just looked fucking corny, because I'm gonna sneeze. How excuse me. How if you move at all with a Zoom background, it gets all fucked up. The real background is immediately revealed. Right. So, she was like dressed in, it was like a period piece. So she was like dressed in period costume, at least from the waist up, and had like an old timey, Victorian background like set behind her. But then she would like move her head ever so slightly to emote because she's acting. And that's what you do. You can't do it stock still. And then you could just see like her fucking bedroom. Right. And I'm like, why are we even trying? Yeah. Why are we even? I would rather go to a show and and get COVID. No. I would rather I would prefer. I remember before COVID, I was like, oh, like a lot of theater makers right now, like they're pretty broke and they can only like they're doing minimal sets because they can't afford a real set. So a lot of sets before COVID were like a black chair and a black box and maybe like a black set of stairs. Yeah, let your fucking imagination do the work. Like some step stools, and then you just like made up the rest, and the audience had to go along. But at least we were in the environment with you. If you're doing the best you can do online, it still just completely removes you because I'm not in that room with you. So like you set up that your environment is one thing, and then like you move your head and your virtual background glitches and I can like see your fucking kitchen, and it's like this is not working.
Well, it's not working. There needs to be a better platform for it.
Yeah.
And well, I just want to stress something real quick. Is that, well, this obviously is not to our taste. We're not trying to disparage those who are.
No, you gotta do what
you're in a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, you're in a rock and a hard place, and like nothing's fucking helping, man. Like, the performing arts is not at the forefront of everybody's minds right now. It's certainly what people are turning to for escapism and to try and,
daily,
to kind of distract from everything else. But theater is not that for people right now. People are looking to film, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, maybe for the time being, we all just gotta be filmmakers, just like get on board with that, because right now, or just do the Hamilton thing, and plan your play to have cameras around it. Block it in such a way that it lends itself well to being filmed. Because I think that's just
release that in a way so you can pay for it and stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of people, which is why Hamilton can afford it.
It's one more fucking thing you got to pay for, right?
Definitely,
because you have to pay people to come in and film you. That's a whole other. If you want to do a play, you have all the financial considerations that you have to make a play work, which is already quite a bit, plus paying people to come in and film it. But it's just something you got to think about.
I mean, it's going to be a part of the future of theater, in my opinion, right? Yeah. I mean, look at the success of the Hamill film. Like, people loved it.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny. I never got a chance to watch it.
Me neither. And then
we canceled Disney Plus because we ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to us. But yeah, which is a bit of a shame. But you know what? I was saying this to my D&D group. The version of Hamilton in my head is probably way better than any performance that I could watch.
I watched, I think, the first act of a friend's bootleg.
I remember that, yeah.
And I was like, man, whatever I had going on in my head was so much better.
Well, it's funny because Lin-Manuel Miranda says that too. His favorite play, I think, is Camelot, that he's said in interviews. And he said he's never actually seen Camelot. He's never seen it performed. But he doesn't want to because he's listened to it so many times that the version he thinks about is better.
Actually, that used to happen to me when I was a kid. I was super into music videos. Like, this was so weird, but I'd be like, oh, like, did anybody see the new music video for, like, Umbrella by Rihanna? And they'd be like, no, because we don't. We listen to it on the radio. Like, we don't, like, look. It's not like, oh, like, when I was a kid, I'd be like, oh, man, this song is so good. I can't wait to see what the music video is going to look like, what they're going to do, like, with the visuals of this song, how they're going to visualize it. No one else cared about that. I was the only one. But so many times I would watch a music video and I'd be like, this isn't how the song looked in my head. Like, my music video that I made up
was better.
After listening to the song 2 times was so much better than whatever you guys did.
Well, you know what it is too?
What I wanted
is that in your head, you picture the singer, the actor, whatever, being able to do all these grand things as they sing.
Yeah.
Then you realize that, like, no, you need your lungs to not be like bending when you're fucking singing.
Yeah.
Like, you need your full chest power to like sing properly.
Have you ever like sung while walking at the same time?
Yeah, it's like you get
like the stepping of your feet messes up your singing so
Of course
quickly.
it does. Of course it does.
And then like I was watching a live performance that Usher did back in like 2004, I think. He was singing Superstar or something like that off of the Confessions album. And he does this crazy run with his voice, like a vocal run of notes while he's walking. And I'm like, the fact that he's doing this while walking is like show enough for me, to be honest.
That's
like,
hard, man. Like real talk.
That's the fact that he walked from like all the way upstage. And this was at like an awards show. So the stage was enormous. And he came from all the way upstage to the very front to meet Beyonce because he was performing with Beyonce. And he like had to like, he like walked the whole thing. He had to like sit in a chair, get up, do a little bit of choreo, walk down, meet Beyonce, and then like engage with Beyonce because they were playing like lovers on the stage for the sake of the song. And like be all sexy with Beyonce while he's like doing all these crazy runs and hitting like Usher has a beautiful falsetto, so he's got to hit those notes. And you have to hit those notes because we know that Usher has a beautiful falsetto. That's what people are paying to see, and he has to deliver. And it's like the fact that you're doing that while walking is like, I don't care if you do backflips at all. I don't want you to do a backflip. It's too hard. Just walk.
Just
and
sing, please.
It's impressive enough. It's impressive enough.
Do the Ed Sheeran thing. Come out with a guitar and a foot pad and just fucking play your whole show by yourself.
That's why I will roundhouse kick anybody in the face who talks shit about Lizzo. It's like she delivers vocals, she plays the flute, and she dances. Like she dances. Like full choreography. And is like singing fucking Truth Hurts like a beast.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's like, I don't care what your body looks like. All these people caught up on her body. It's like, you try and play the flute and sing at the same time. I'm not even going to make you dance. Try and blow air into an instrument
while moving
moving and singing at the same time.
It's crazy breath control.
You can't fucking do it.
It's really strong.
She's a professional.
Yeah, she's a damn professional. Lizzo is someone who I admittingly, my two Lizzo songs that I like really a lot are Juice and Tempo. And I'm pretty sure those are two of her most famous songs.
Yeah.
But she is just so much fucking fun to listen to.
Oh, she's a ball.
But I know that Juice is like, everyone has heard the song Juice.
Yeah.
But like that is seriously a song. I hear it, I'm like, it makes 100% sense why this is popular. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's got a great hook.
Yeah.
Got a great chorus.
Absolutely.
You know, it's fun to listen to.
Absolutely. No, she's killing it right now. And she doesn't stop. Like, she's just one of those, I don't even care that she's a pop artist. Like, she's just, I can tell that she is an artist who cares about her craft and wants to work hard at it and like consistently get better. And I get on board with anybody who's like, I don't care how popular or not popular you are, as long as you look like you give a shit about what you're doing.
Effort goes a long way.
Yeah, I don't care how popular you are or aren't, or how much money you make or don't make.
Okay.
I'm just down for people who care about art and wanting to get better.
Right.
And growing. So
just to let you know,
Barack
Obama was a member of the Illinois Senate from the 13th District in January 8th, 97.
Okay.
So
after.
Yeah.
After.
Literally right after.
Literally a year after Michael Jordan did his last.
It's like, fuck this Chicago shit. I'm moving to Illinois. Well, I'm pretty sure he graduated from Harvard. And then he was like, I'm moving to Illinois.
Something like that.
And he was like, in 20 years, I'm going to be the president. Not even. In like 11 years.
He did it. By God, he did it. Yeah.
Good old Obama.
Good old Obama.
Love me some Obama.
I miss Obama.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the thing that happened to us this week?
Sure.
So, because I'm trying to be an actor, I need to get my headshots done. So, my mother, who is a rather well-connected lady, so it seems, met up with a photographer friend of hers, and we organized something. It was a great day of shooting. Got a bunch of great headshots done.
She came to the house to take your headshots.
She came to my house to get the headshots done.
Yeah.
That was on Friday the 3rd of October. I think it was the 3rd.
2nd or the 3rd.
Whatever.
Beginning of the month.
It does not matter at all. That following Monday, I got a call, or Mom got a call from the photographer saying her husband tested positive for COVID. So, funny story. I had finished my work for the day at that point, and I went out and did some shopping stuff. And like, I'm having a good day. So I was like, it's like 6, 7-ish. It's getting a little bit dark. I'm going to smoke like a small bowl before I go back home just to take the edge off a little bit. Not get like fucked up, but just, like, and then go inside. So I came in a little bit buzzed, and Mom was like, so the photographer called. And her husband tested positive for COVID. And I have to deal with that while on the influence of marijuana. And it was just kind of like, yeah, for like 15 minutes, it was very stressful. I immediately had to call you because you were there for the shoot as well.
Yeah.
And then that went on to be a very stressful week. Luckily.
Well, because we had to isolate, so we
completely.
Couldn't. You called me on like a Saturday or a Sunday.
It would have been when I found out. It would have been that Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, because I remember I had plans, because it was Thanksgiving weekend, I had plans to, with my mom, go over to my grandmother's house. And that day, I was about to leave to go have like a little intimate Thanksgiving with grandma. I was about to like get up out of the office and get ready. And you called me and told me, and I had to go downstairs and be like, Mom, I'm not going to grandma's.
Yeah.
Because like I gotta get tested ASAP. It was after the appointment website was closed, so I couldn't access it. So I had to, first thing Sunday morning, wake up, make an appointment for the next day, and then go get tested. So I get tested on Monday, got my results Wednesday, luckily negative. But then it was just a waiting game.
Yeah,
like
that was the hardest part.
The whole week, it was like waiting to go get tested and then go get tested. Getting tested sucks. They stick the Q-tip up your nose. And then it was just waiting for the results. And then you had to get tested a little bit later in the week because you live in a busier area.
I live in the Peel region of Ontario.
It's harder to get an appointment because it's busier and the count is higher. There are more,
no exaggeration, 20 pharmacies.
Yeah.
And 90% of them are like, okay, I can get you tested in November.
Yeah.
It's like October 13th.
No, I need now.
And I found some fucking dinky pharmacy. No offense to the pharmacy. It was a smaller pharmacy. And they were like, yeah, I can get you tested today. So I was like, aces.
Yeah.
And then I went and got tested.
And then we had to wait, and the whole time we're isolating, like I didn't go over to your house. You didn't come over to mine.
No. Recording this on a Sunday because of that.
Yeah, we completely isolated and just like took space and just had to wait. It was just a waiting game.
Yeah.
And
stressful.
Yeah. Stressful doesn't even begin. Like my brain melted a little bit because it was just like, I'm sitting here, I may as well be productive and do something, but I just have this like heavy weight on my mind. And I just
it was not a productive week here.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. I need this time in history to be done.
I know.
I'm so tired of living through a historic pandemic.
I was saying to my cousins,
so tired.
Last time I saw my cousins, it was like a distance thing and we were just saying hi to each other. I was like, I'd really love to go back to living in precedented times.
Yeah.
I'm a little done with unprecedented times.
Yeah.
I miss when things were exactly as the way they were.
Yeah.
I don't have to fucking think. Listen, I said this to Mom the other day. If Biden wins in November, I sincerely hope I don't hear about the government for another full fucking year.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any. I just want the government to do their job, and it's not like Biden's some like magic wand that's going to make anything better.
But he's not going
to make everything better. But
he's not going to be. He's the daily ignoramus that Donald Trump is, though.
Yeah,
like every single day, Donald Trump farted on a kitten and threw it at a black boy, and it's like.
On a kitten and threw it at a black boy.
Would you be surprised? No. I wouldn't even be remotely surprised.
And I'm just tired of the circus. I really am. I want off this ride.
Yeah. Rudy Giuliani skinned a rat alive and ate it.
I don't know who anybody is, honestly. Fucking, can you believe what Giuliani, fucking Cuomo, goddamn Kitsafrakis, fucking...
Kitsafrakis sounds like a dinosaur name.
Yeah, like...
the ancient Kitsafrakis.
Skimbob the person with the wig and just Hat Boy and motherfucking Milkman, and I don't know the people. I don't know the people anymore.
I don't know the people. Sam Mercury 2020.
I don't know the people anymore. I just like I go completely by tone, Sure. Like if it seems like somebody's going like, Cameron Smith, and I'm like, I guess Cameron Smith is a terrible person.
Fuck him.
I guess we hate Cameron Smith then.
Totally.
I guess that's the side that
I know
we're on.
I do.
So, I'm ready for it to stop. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready for the people who are competent and worthy of holding the positions that they hold to go into those positions and hold those positions in society and just like do their job, and then everybody can just do their job and I can do my job and we can all have jobs and do jobs and go about our business.
Jobs.
I don't have to worry about how anybody else is doing their job. I can just, jobs can just be jobs and we go to them. I'm so ready.
Anytime now, man. Anytime. Like,
and it's like, people are posting the same way that they were posting about like Hillary, which is hopeful. And, it sucks, but I'm trying to manage my expectations.
Well, see, I feel like
I would love for things to work out and for this to just be a 4-year blip, but I'm starting to think that, I don't know.
Life works in cycles.
I'm just starting to think that like nothing is promised and everything is up in the air always. And what the silly little things that we say are permanent and forever are just things that we make permanent and forever. And if somebody wants to descend at any point and take it all away, like they can, like it's all just made up shit.
Especially when the people in power will cheat and lie and steal and kill to stay in power.
I could carve out borders in the shape of a penis. I'll be like, this is Alberta now. Like, fuck you.
And Alberta would be like, well, that's it.
I guess it is. Yeah.
You know?
I guess we're the penis-shaped province, and all this extra space is just
Alberta,
extra
the
Winnipeg
penis
and
province.
extra British Columbia, you know, or extra Manitoba. Sorry,
British or
Winnipeg
Columbia.
is the capital. Manitoba's the province. But yeah, it's just like, okay, British Columbia, you get all the space that's not the penis. Manitoba, you get the other side that's not the penis. Everything that is inside of the penis is Alberta now. And everyone would just have to get on board with that, you know? Nothing's permanent. Nothing is permanent.
Borders are just invisible lines that we made up and said, this is that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think we lost track. So, like...
We descended a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how we ended up talking about borders at all.
We were just talking about, like, the election and how nothing is ever promised.
Well, I mean, it's just the thing that gets me is we're in a similar position than we were 4 years ago, where a bunch of people are like a bunch of fucking centrists are like, oh, Donald Trump is the worst. And you know, he eats kittens and stabs children. Like, this is visible. He does this every single day. But I don't like Joe Biden. And it's like, okay, but like, you realize you could either vote for Joe Biden or vote for the maniac.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm getting kind of tired of that rhetoric of like, listen, I know Joe Biden is not my fucking personal choice either.
Yeah.
But he's not, like, you understand that you have to vote for someone who's not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the world to not be on fire anymore.
Yeah.
Because the world is on fire, baby.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for a lot longer than 4 years. Yeah. But like, Donald Trump was the can of gasoline thrown onto that fire.
Yeah.
And now it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
Half the country is literally on fire. Like, Jesus.
I feel like the whole, like, does California have clear skies again?
Nope.
Is it still red over there?
It's not red anymore, but it is still on fire, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, it's just like the news cycled out, you know? Yeah.
Things that don't get better. Like, that's the craziest thing you learn as you grow up, is that, like, you generally speaking, when you're a kid and you see like big headlines, when they stop hearing them, you think, oh, that must have been resolved. No, they're just not talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I mean, that's, again, I can go on a huge rant about 24-hour news networks.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I don't want to bum everybody out.
Today is not the day. Today is not the day, please, God.
But, long story short, I think 24-hour news networks, left, center, or right, are all poison. And are very much badly damaging our society.
We just have to be critical all the time.
Long story short, folks, we don't have COVID.
Yeah,
that's how we started this long conversation.
Yeah, it's just been a week, you know, where it's like when you're in limbo and like you're thinking, what am I gonna do if this comes back positive? Like, what am I gonna do? It sucks, and it really hampers your productivity and like how you just functioning. You know, it just hampers your functioning big time.
100%. Like, I mean, I'm not going to get into details, but there was something that was supposed to happen this weekend that didn't happen because of the scare and because of another family scare. And that really affected me, truthfully. Like, I was very torn up about it. And it really just killed my productivity this week, you know? Yeah. I didn't get nothing done. Like, I did more physical stuff. I fixed a lot of these fucking panels that keep falling off. But it just creative drive is so fleeting, isn't it? I mean, on a good day, it's fleeting.
I feel like where we messed up as artists was when we listened to these so-called artists who create through pain or tumultuous times.
Oh, don't even start on that.
Because you kind of like, even though everybody is saying, like, hey, it's normal for your brain to not work the way it normally does, when you're going through something, and we're all going through something as a unit together right now. So it's extra traumatic. Yeah.
We're all just trying to live and create. Yeah. And if you have the opportunity to do that, then do it. Yeah. You know, fucking do it. Fuck everybody else. Fuck you at home listening to this podcast.
No. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you sticking with us. This is one of those preachy episodes where we're like, everything sucks, but we're gonna be okay. But
well, no, that's only for a small section of this episode.
Yeah.
It's not like early on where like episodes like 10 to 20 are all just like, this is hard and we're sad. Yeah. And then a story from my childhood and being an artist is hard.
Man. Holy fuck.
Nothing to say?
Can I just get a moment of silence?
No, this is a fucking podcast. Can't be a moment of silence.
Can we just sit quietly for a second and just like...
Really take a deep breath.
Welcome to the Calm app.
Yeah, really. Hey, welcome to the Chill Spot Podcast, where we're just going to quietly read for an hour. And then it's just like... followed by like... just for like an hour. We don't even say what we're reading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you just hear you go. You just like
the nose laugh.
Yeah, that just.
Yeah. Or like. You want some coffee?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
And then walk out and like you hear me like doo, doo, doo.
Yeah.
And was like, have you heard of this podcast? They just read for an hour.
It's like they don't tell you what they're reading. They just
quietly read.
They just want to get stuff done.
Yeah.
It's the sound of productivity. That's all it is. This podcast is just the sound of productivity. You know? You keyboard typing.
Yeah, really. Just like all you hear is just like.
Hey, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Ugh!
Ah! Yeah, are we at the point of our lives now where we have to make noises in order to get up out of chairs?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Absolutely, I need to grunt whenever I stand up.
Mm-hmm.
If I am sitting in a chair that is like less than, I want to say, like 4 inches off of the ground, I gotta grunt to stand up. It's too low. I gotta work for it. I gotta work to stand up.
Do you remember? Sorry, Mom, if you hear this. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when you and I went up back to my shed to enjoy our company? And that sounds like we had sex. In order to
smoke marijuana.
To smoke the grass.
Yeah.
I was trying to be clever about it, but whatever. And we were sitting on the ground with some cushions on the ground.
Yeah.
And like getting up off the ground was like, we should have never sat down here.
No. I should have just accepted my death here and just like stayed here forever, because I can't do this shit anymore.
Yeah, no,
we're done. You were saying today how like you can't do beanbags anymore. We're officially too old for beanbags.
Yeah, my spine will disintegrate.
Yeah. Excuse me. I can't do that shit. You're basically sitting on the ground when you sit in a beanbag chair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you basically sit on the ground.
You had a beanbag chair in that apartment you were living in for a little while.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, because we were doing nothing. We were having a day where we were doing nothing. And you were in the shower, and it was like a Saturday morning, like at noon at this point. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna smoke a little bit of weed. We're just hanging out. So I got in that beanbag chair and basically just like laid all the way down.
Just scrunched all the way down.
Yeah.
No, because I used to sit in that beanbag chair a lot, actually. And it was 100% on the ground. And the way I would get out of it is because I was already on the ground, I would like I would plank. Like, I would completely plank and then just like log roll over and then get on all fours and then like body roll up slowly.
Yeah. You have that moment when you're on all fours.
It was a
like
3-step process. It was like roll, fours, get up. Like, it was a process.
There's no getting up from one swing, you know?
No.
Something I used to do a lot that I actually have, I recently don't do anymore. In order to get out of bed when I was younger, to like kickstart my day and not like keep sleeping after my alarm, as soon as my alarm would come up, I would like kick my right leg up and then swing it down off the bed and then essentially propel myself into a standing position from lying down.
Yeah.
Which is like, I can still do it. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to die if I do it.
Yeah.
But one morning, I was like, you know, my fucking dun 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 dun. My alarm went off, so I was like, and I swung my leg up, and my calf cramped.
Ooh.
And I was like, ah, and just like basically, fucking laid in bed and like had to like work my leg out, and like I'm awake now.
Yeah.
That's like one way to wake up
After all of that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No, I used to I used to catapult out of bed. Not that I was even like excited. We always joke about like, oh, where was our like gusto for life? You know, back when we were in high school, we had to be at school by 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, how do we do that? I wasn't excited to do it, but I could just, you know, my alarm would go off. I would shut it off, and then I would throw the covers off and get out of bed.
It's what you had to
do.
do.
And then go straight, like, strip, go to the shower, take it all off, like, do my shower.
It's what you had to do.
Get shit done. I didn't, like, stand under the water for, like, 2 minutes at the beginning of it all, being like, okay, I know I gotta do stuff, but the water feels so good.
Yeah. No, you're business in there.
No, I was like all business
Yeah.
at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Ready to go. What happened? There's no way that I'm in that same body.
Youthful energy,
There's
man.
no way this is that same body. Are you kidding me?
Did you ever fall asleep in class?
Are you kidding me? No.
Fourth period, I would uncontrollably fall asleep.
No, once I was up, you know. Sometimes I would be groggy. I think there was a semester where my very first period of the day was math. And I liked it because it just got it out of the way, you know. And then the rest of the day, like I had like English and fucking, you know, like food and nutrition, and like I was taking a parenting class that was really fun because it was an elective, so it was a smaller class,
right.
So it was more intimate and like more discussion based. So it was more fun to be in. And then I would have like a spare, and that was my day. And I was like, after math class, it's like you're sailing, but no, like, didn't ever really fall asleep in school. Was never a school sleeper. I couldn't get comfortable enough to properly fall asleep.
I would involuntarily fall asleep.
Wow.
I'd be sitting at my desk and it would be like,
just like
legit.
Eyes droop and your head nods and you just kind of pass out.
It was like, I remember one time I was in law class in grade 11 and I was paying attention. I was totally fine. And then I turned to my buddy and I was like, yeah, talk. I looked at the clock, seriously, Sam? And then it was like, snap. And I woke up like this with my chin to my chest, looked up at the clock. I'd fallen asleep for 45 minutes. That is the entire class. No one woke me up.
I was going to say, you got away with that?
I mean, I guess not. Someone must have noticed that I was asleep. Maybe the teacher.
You were also a busy person in school. Like,
I mean,
you had that 45-minute nap, and it's like, well, yeah, you're going to be on campus until 6 p.m.
I suppose so, yeah.
You know.
I mean, no excuse.
It's not like you don't have shit going on. It's not like you haven't been doing stuff, you know?
Right.
You were at school until 5, 6 p.m. the night before, woke up early today, you know, like went home, did homework, had to go to bed, wake up early. Of course you're tired. Of course you're falling asleep. Like, you're going to do it all again today, you know?
Yeah, every day.
Your body needs that.
It's true. Well, I also didn't go to bed at a good time. I routinely go to bed at like 10:30, 11:30,
Yeah.
maybe midnight some nights.
Yeah.
You know. Actually, you know, I've actually recently made a really big effort to change my sleep schedule completely. I have an alarm in my bed. I used to do this thing at 11:30. I'd have a little alarm that goes off that says go to bed, but it never worked.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me what to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what I've done now, I have an alarm at 11:15 that says by 11:30 be in bed.
Right.
Which isn't necessarily go to sleep. It's
Yeah.
be in bed by 11:30.
Yeah, you
I'll be in
read,
bed.
yeah.
I'll read a little bit. I'll play a game on my phone. Midnight rolls around. You fall asleep. Right? Like that to me, and then I wake up at 8 every single day.
Yeah.
And it's been working out, except for the weekends. But that's actually how I've parsed it out. I realized that I can be a responsible person as long as I give myself room to be irresponsible.
Gotcha.
So the weekends, be it Saturday and Sunday, I don't set alarms.
Gotcha.
I'll just wake up whenever
you want to wake up.
And because I've been waking up early, it generally means that, instead of 8, you'll wake up naturally at 9.
Yeah.
Which is like, great. That's not even late.
Not really.
Not even.
Not really. Yeah.
But waking up at 8 has actually been very rewarding, I must admit.
That's a good idea.
I mean, like, now that I'm not working, a big thing that I told you about this, of course, and I've told my friends about this, my parents about this. This is part of the reason my parents were supportive in me doing what I did, which is, I don't know if I even said this on the podcast before, but I quit my job.
Yeah, you said that.
Just to be absolutely sure. And because I want to be in the creative fields, I need to take it seriously. And I had this, again, part of the reason I quit my job, because I had the epiphany that if I'm not doing the creative work, it's not getting done. It's like, and, you know, no one is at home, like, doing my work for me, right? So I impose 9 to 5 work days on myself, whenever I can, that we're not doing chill spot stuff. So, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and typically Friday and Saturday are my work days, where I'll just, like, do stuff creatively. Sunday is a complete day off. Like I don't do fucking anything on Sundays. I'll play video games on Sunday. But the Monday onward is just work 9 to 5. But when 5 o'clock rolls around, out.
Done.
I don't look at my computer. I don't look at emails.
Yeah.
I know there's some people out there who would say like, oh, you're an artist, you're always on the clock. And it's like, yeah, I'm aware of that, but I also don't want to have a fucking panic attack, burn out, and die.
Yeah.
You need to be responsible with your work time.
Yeah.
And you have to have a time where you turn it off.
Absolutely.
Because literally everyone in the field that I'm in is telling me to do that. You know? So it goes back to the whole argument of like suffering for your art. Like there are people out there who are like, oh, if I get an email at midnight, like I'll respond to it and do work. And it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like you think you're driven and like that's really great. And maybe you get work done and that's really, really great. I understand that art is unorthodox and doesn't always work in a 9 to 5 time slot. But you understand that that's how your lifestyle is unsustainable.
Yeah.
At least in my humble opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, you're going to burn out. You have to give yourself breaks.
Yeah. And if you have a schedule, then your brain knows kind of like what to expect and how to act.
Yeah.
As opposed to like if you don't have, that's why I literally make schedules for myself. I'll be like, okay, like by 11, I want to be sitting down. Like I'll do a writing warm up and then, you know, just like freestyle write whatever comes to my mind and just like write for this time. You know, it's not about, it's about brain dumping, you know, it's not about like formatting and like actually making something. It's about like just dumping ideas out and seeing what we got. What do we have to work with today?
Yeah.
That's what this time period is for. Okay, next time period, okay, like put that down, work on something else, you know?
Yeah.
Get out of that mindset of like working on your play and maybe like work on writing a spec script or watch stand up and get inspired, like all that stuff. So you just have to, we've said this before. You just have to stay focused.
That's it. Stay focused.
But be fair to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been learning how to draw a new anatomy part as of late. I've been taking drawing lessons for quite some time. Online lessons with Aaron Blaise. If you guys are interested in learning how to draw, buy some of his packages. He is the best. CreatureArtTeacher.com. I'll totally plug that. I've been learning because I have a quite cartoonish art style. From those who might remember me from like my champion drawing days, I want to learn how to do anatomy because I feel like once you learn how the body works proportionately, you can cartoonify it. And that is also some of the advice I've gotten from my artist friends to be like, learn the rules of art so you can break them. You know, that goes for anything really. But I've been learning how to draw feet. And feet are fun. Feet are sort of like hands. Like
all right, there, Tarantino.
I know, right? I was watching the video and I was like, this is so hot. And something that's really interesting about anatomy and drawing that I've discovered on my little journey here is that like getting proportions right is just figuring out the shape of things. And that sounds really stupid and simple, but it's true. Hands are just a very specific shape. And if you get the shape correct, you can then modify it to look like all sorts of different kinds of hands. Because generally speaking, hands are all different, you know. But my favorite thing to learn about in terms of anatomy, I think, was probably how the proportions of the head work. Like your chin to your hairline, in the middle is where your nose is. From your nose to your eyebrow is generally where your ears line up. Like it's all these little different kinds of rules and things that really elevate your drawing from being like, oh, this sort of looks like a person, to be like, well, no, this is identifiable as a person, you know?
Yeah.
And it's been a very rewarding experience.
It like meets that, like, it stays in the canny valley.
Yes.
In order to get to the uncanny valley if you need to.
Well, see, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm actually, the next big lesson, I'm almost done the anatomy, but the next big set of lessons is the cartoonifying. So because I started with a really cartoony art style that I wanted to do, anatomy has been a massive challenge because I'm not good at drawing anatomy because I started in I sort of did the opposite of what you should do if you're trying to learn how to draw. So a lot of my drawings have just been very uncanny because you have like a cartoony
like the
face.
muscliest muscle man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also my, like, because I'm very influenced by manga and especially a lot of Japanese artists, that's sort of where I want my art style to end up, which is like if I do like a shonen character who has like a big muscly body, like I want them to have like an interesting cartoonish face, but one that doesn't clash with his anatomy, right? And that's where I'm at right now, where like I'm at odds with two different kinds of drawing styles, but I want to sort of merge and continue to learn. Yeah, and it's been very good. I mean, we're just talking about staying focused and daily practice. Like, I've been very hard on myself for a long time when it comes to drawing. and daily practice has made myself better. You know, and it goes for anything. Writing, voice acting.
I'm finding that with warm-ups. Like, I kind of was like hitting myself and like flagellating myself over and over again, because it's like, you're not as creative as you thought you were when you were like in grade 4 and writing your dinky little stories for your like English assignments.
The banana
in school
goes
and
to the
stuff
store
like that.
and then dies.
And it's like, no, I actually still am. I've just been like telling myself like, you need to write your play, write it.
Yeah.
Just go, just write it. And then
But
I
you
would like
can't.
sit down and I'd be like, once upon a time. And I'd be like, why isn't any of this working?
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, no, like the write-ups, the warm-ups sort of, they take you out of it. They take you out of that space where you're like, I need to write this play. Once upon a time, beginning, middle, and an end, and a climax. And it's like, no, just like, here's a sentence, you know? How was this object born? Think about an object. Look around the room, pick it. How was it born? Okay, start it. What was it? What was the middle of its life like? Okay, 2 minutes, gone. How does it die? 2 minutes, go ahead. And then you just like write stuff, and I'm like, oh fuck, I can come up with stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, those gears are turning, you know? They need a little bit of oil
Well, that's just it, Sam.
to
Like,
get going.
I think
Grease.
for the long time, I think you and I were in the same sort of situation where, you know, I would look at my influences and unfairly to me, 100%, like, I don't know, I look at like Kisuke Igatagi's art, who is, Itagaki, pardon me, who is the author and mangaka of Baki the Grappler, one of my favorite mangas.
Okay.
And his art style is batshit. It is so
Yeah, you've shown me.
impressive.
Yeah, you showed me
And
pages of that before.
It's just like, Jesus Christ. And I think, like, I would never forwardly think this because I'm not like a dumbass, but I think somewhere in the back of my head, a little itch scratched in the back of my head was like, ugh, why can't you draw like Kisuke Itagaki?
Yeah. No, you say fucked up shit like that to yourself sometimes. And it's so like when you say it out loud, you're like, oh my God, this is so
Well, of course not. He's been a mangaka for 30 fucking years.
I'm like, why can't I write like Issa Rae? And I'm like, oh, because maybe I've only been actually focusing on writing for like the last, I don't know, like actually trying to be a writer and like by myself come up with my own shit that wasn't assigned to me by somebody else for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe that's why you're not good. You know? Maybe that's why you're not fucking Aaron Sorkin yet. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, Samantha. You know?
It's true though.
It's funny because, like, you know, they tell you to watch people whose work you respect in order to, like, learn from them and get inspired and, you know, try to figure out your next steps with where you want to go with your projects. And that's a good piece of advice. But I still gotta stick with and maybe this is really what I'm trying to get at whenever we have conversations about, you know, how I can watch quote unquote bad media so much and really stick with it. It's like, excuse me. Sometimes I feel like it's also good to watch things that are not so polished, that are a bit more
Sure.
indie, that don't have as much, you know, glitz and glam and, you know, the appropriate structure applied to them necessarily, because it can just show you that you can exist outside of the formula. You can make things that are avant-garde and really outside the box, and maybe not everybody will get it, but you'll make it and it'll get done.
Yeah.
And you'll have something under your belt. And you can make something that's not necessarily good.
It doesn't have to be good.
You know,
It just has to be done.
It just has to be done. And then you can get better as time goes on. I feel like in this day and age with like, sorry about the next sentence that I'm going to say, but like, I feel like in the age of like political correctness,
fucking SJW.
we're so focused on getting everything right the first time and having all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed that we're almost intolerant of any mistake.
Yes.
Even if it's not, I'm not talking about, you know, saying the wrong thing and offending a group of people. I'm talking about literally just not making something that's good.
Like making bad
I'm
art.
talking
Yeah.
about like making a bad movie. I'm talking about plot, like having plot holes.
Right.
And, you know, lazy dialogue and, bad lighting, bad audio. If you have any of those things, I feel like people just won't forgive your project at all and they'll label it bad. And they'll say, well, this isn't good. Don't watch this. Don't bother with this. This isn't good. This isn't well made. This wasn't well done. And, or this person, you know, this person obviously didn't care about what they were making. And that's not the case. I think that bad things get made by good people who are honestly trying so fucking hard all of the time. And I think that that's why I'm so tolerant of it, is because, like, you can honestly tell there really is a difference. There's a difference between, I'm going to say, The Room and I'm trying to think of something that was bad, but it just seemed like nobody gave a shit about, you know, what they were doing. Something like Twilight, you know, where some of the creatives on that project didn't want to fucking be there and weren't taking it seriously. And, like, no tea, no shade, because, you know, there were outside forces that were also making that experience not fun for everybody. But you can tell that Robert Pattinson doesn't give a fuck about playing Edward in Twilight, that he thinks that it's ridiculous.
You can see it in the performance.
You can see it in his eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can see, you know, I haven't seen a lot of Robert Pattinson stuff outside of Twilight, to be perfectly honest, but I've seen, you know, clips and GIFs of his other projects, and you can tell that he just gives more of a shit, you know? Mm-hmm. You can tell that he gave more of a shit about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire than he did about Twilight.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, you can see it in his eyes. But that same determination I can see in what little I've seen of The Room with Tommy Wiseau. It's like he thought that he was doing the best that he could do at the time.
He was making the best movie he's ever made. And
I think that's why I can genuinely tolerate quote unquote bad media, is because I don't really care if you did it well. I care about how much you care about this project.
The effort is the most important thing.
Exactly. And so maybe you don't have all of the tools in your toolbox yet. You're getting there.
Yeah.
You did something that so many people don't even do, which is make the thing, make it a reality. And, you know, if someone's first movie, like, isn't super great, like, doesn't have all of the wrinkles ironed out yet, you know, they'll get there because they care. You know, they have that X factor, which is just giving a shit about the thing that you're making, you know. And that's what I love about some of the contestants on Drag Race. It's like, you know, maybe you come out with a bad outfit, but I can tell by your walk, I can tell by your presence on the stage, I can tell by how you take the critique that you care about this. Mm-hmm. So you didn't do it perfectly this time. Okay, well, imperfection is allowed to exist. I really want us to get to a position where we're comfortable with seeing imperfection, and that imperfection isn't embarrassing. It's embarrassing to see somebody be ignorant or just not care at all, you know, to not be ignorant and just not care at all about what you're making or what you're doing or how you're acting.
It's far more embarrassing, for sure.
That's more embarrassing to me. It's not embarrassing to me to see you give a shit, but maybe just, like, not know how to do everything yet. Yeah. You will get there.
Well, I mean, you and I are part of a writing group with a couple of good friends who has been nothing but a positive experience. But it's taught me in any way the importance of drafting.
Yeah.
The importance of, like, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who I won't name about creative writing, and how his process was very much like, I need to think and 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 think, and then never write everything down. But the problem when you do that is that you actually never write anything.
You never write the thing.
You never ever write it.
No.
And him in particular, and that's, I think this also would be an experience shared with a lot of people. I think I could even identify with it to a certain extent, is that you're afraid of what you're writing down being bad, but you can't be afraid of that. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you right now, folks at home, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Yes.
The first episode of this podcast isn't great.
Honestly, like...
But episode 65 or 6, whatever the fuck this is, I personally think we got a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it goes back to writing. Like, the first draft, if you write something, is probably going to be fucking not terrible, but it's not going to be good because it's the first draft. You're going to get critique on it and fix it.
Yeah.
Like, I won't name his name.
That's why we're so uncomfortable with imperfection, right? Is because, like, we've been taught that what you see is, you know, perfect. You know, like we're so used to seeing the final product that we forget or we neglect to think about all the imperfect ways that this project existed before that. And I just wish that we could see that more. You know, I wish that I almost wish that we could, like, follow a movie the same way you like follow a rookie athlete's career.
Yeah, a
where you
little
like
bit,
you
eh?
see like if someone is a rookie and they're just starting out and they're not used to the league yet, like they can perform a little bit, but they have like some kinks that need ironing out. And you see those kinks get ironed out over time, you know? Like you watch Kobe Bryant's career and like Kobe Bryant in his last game before he retired and Kobe Bryant in his first season is a drastically different player, you know, at that time. And we saw that. You don't see that with film, with plays, because it all happens behind the scenes. I almost wish I could watch like a run for lights for a play when some of the actors still have their script in hands and the blocking is still like up in the air,
Yeah.
you know? And then, you know, like watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it for like 3 months and then see the final product and be like, ah, yes, they got there,
Yeah.
you know, like, and, you know, I've spent all of this time with it and this is how long it takes, you know? It's not like, you know, it's not like Issa Rae wrote Insecure and then made it and then it was Insecure.
Well, yeah.
On HBO.
She didn't.
Like,
She didn't spit gold onto paper.
Yeah.
And then was like, "Look, I spent." She's not Dave Grohl going to the fucking cabin in the woods for a weekend and
just,
coming
like,
back
hole up and
frantic
be like,
with a
"I've got an
beard.
album."
I wrote an album.
Yeah.
Let's record it.
Yeah.
You know, like that doesn't happen.
No.
It only happened because Dave Grohl is a fucking genius.
You know what? I doubt it even happened that way. I'm sure the media kind of like blew it out of proportion. I'm sure it didn't go that way.
Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know, even for Dave Grohl.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we got to get more comfortable as a society with imperfection
Yeah.
and with seeing imperfection, not acknowledging that it exists and that we all deal with it. No, I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to trip up in front of each other way more often.
To be honest with you, I think society as a whole is far more accepting of failure and perfection than what they actually lead on. I think things like social media and Instagram and Twitter especially Twitter, is where you really see people afraid to fuck up.
Nah, man, Instagram
too.
Instagram is the worst for that because all you see are final products.
It's the perfect view of someone's life.
Yeah.
But I don't mean like a perfect view in the sense that you get to see everything. No, you see the perfect part of everyone's life.
Yeah.
You see I didn't post about our fucking COVID scare on Instagram.
No.
But I will post the headshots I got. So put it that way.
Yeah, and then people
I mean?
will be like, wow, Cam got new headshots. I guess he's really like, he really needs them. He's really going somewhere.
Little did they know that I was depressed for a fucking week because I thought I had COVID.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So.
It's that kind of vulnerability that I think we all need in society a lot more in order to be more comfortable.
I agree.
You know?
Social media and 24-hour news networks poison on our society. And they actually tend to exist in the same circle. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got more stuff on the way. Big project coming up. It's very secret. It's called The End of the Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're not sure you're ready for it, but here it is nonetheless.
So you can find us on Spotify and Google Play or Google Podcasts now. I keep doing that.
I was going to say, you keep doing that. You were the one who were like, it's Google Podcasts. Google has a podcast channel now.
I know. And we're on it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we just transferred over.
Yeah.
We're also on Apple Podcasts and Podbean. And
Did you say Spotify?
I did say Spotify.
Spoopify?
I always say Spoopify first.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the flow.
Mm-hmm.
We are also on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You may be watching us right now. Mm-hmm. If you follow us on any one of these services, sure to drop a like if you're on Apple Podcasts. It'd be great if you drop a review. It actually genuinely really helps.
I know everybody says that, but it's like
No, we're not lying.
It helps us chart so that more people can see our podcast.
If you enjoyed the podcast on YouTube, be sure to like it on YouTube.
Yes.
And tell your friends about us. Subscribe to us and hit that notification bell if you like us
and
that
hell,
much.
leave a comment if any of this made any fucking sense to you.
Please, let us know.
If any part of this impacted you, you know, just keep the conversation going. We love it.
And if you really want to talk to us directly for some reason, you can follow us over at Twitch, twitch.tv/chillspot, where we play all sorts of games. Got a bunch of cool spooky games up for the month of October, playing Until Dawn. You can watch our VOD of Layers of Fear, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah, we did it all in one go.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, stay nice.
Stay frosty, ice cold chillers. All right.
It's happening. It's sticking.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Bye.
it is. Yes, it is. Bye.